Good morning and welcome to EMS Update 2024. I'm Brian Shaw, your host this morning. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for everybody who has come out for the 37th year of EMS Update here at the Seven Springs Mountain Resort. Of a pleasure, sitting to my right this morning is Rob Hoadley. Rob presented our morning keynote address, not address, it's the address. Right. And we're happy that Rob joined us from the West Coast, from San Diego. It is currently probably 7 a.m. your time, but 10 a.m. our time.
Sure.
So, but Rob, thank you so much. You had a very inspiring keynote address to our audience this morning, and thanks for joining us. And just tell us a little bit about yourself and a little recap.
Oh, sure. Well, I'm happy to be here. I was intrigued that it's called EMS West when I came from San Diego to get out here. But anyway, I thought that would be my first joke, and I didn't even make it in the conference. But Rob Hoadley, I live in San Diego. I'm actually the survivor of multiple sudden cardiac arrests, and that has given me 23 actually, out of hospital cardiac arrest. The first 5 I was shocked and revived by EMS in one day. That was all in one day, and that's why I'm so thankful to be here, saying thank you to EMS, the folks that I don't know, but I'm sure have saved other folks like Taylo, who was in the conference with us.
Yeah, we'll talk a little bit more Taylo here.
Fantastic story
in a minute.
Right? But then had a couple of more cardiac arrests and shocked by my internal device twice in 2018, and then in 2021, I had 16 cardiac arrests in 1 year, and that's changed everything now. So now my entire perspective has changed. How I treat people, how I want to be treated, all that stuff has changed. And it's really exciting to be in a place where there's so many EMS professionals and caregivers that understand that and have dedicated their lives to it. It's a great place to be.
Yeah. And myself as an EMS provider with, I hate to say this, but probably 35 years of experience now, doing a lot of time in the street and in the air and critical care. We know as EMS providers, the amount of sudden cardiac arrest patients that we treat. And that takes many hands to count the number of cardiac arrests, the hands or the chest that I've placed my hands on. But unfortunately, over my decades of experience, it only takes 1 or 2 hands to count the number of patients that I got to converse with afterwards. And you truly epitomize what a miracle that is, and hearing your story this morning of things that fall into place and things that fell into place for your survival are just amazing. Not only the day with your company and your boss at the meeting, but everything you've endured since that. And truly placed here for a reason. And I'm glad that we were able to link up and you came to EMS Update for a reason. And I can tell you, being in the audience this morning, that your talk inspired and invoked emotions, and people celebrated. And it was great to be there. There were a lot of red eyes in the audience, not so much from maybe what had happened last night, definitely from your talk this morning.
I did not mention that.
Yeah, and but it is EMS Update, so
it is.
But we thank you for that. And so let's talk about, you met somebody new last night when you came in, and a gentleman by the name of Taylo Capuzzi.
Right. So some of the viewers may have actually seen the video. I don't know if they have or not, but he was at, and they may already know the story. But apparently he was at, as a paramedic at an Ed Sheeran concert. Someone from the stage crew actually went into cardiac arrest and fell off the stage. And Taylo and his team revived that individual and had him transported to the hospital. And coming down from that high, about 15 minutes later, they were getting, Taylo had just passed out a bunch of waters to other people, and they were getting ready to go back and be done. And Taylo actually went into a cardiac arrest 15 minutes later, and his team revived him. And I've never heard of that before. I've never heard that in quick succession like that. And to meet him, and to hug him and just kind of share a couple of tears, a couple of stories, man, it really epitomizes what type of connection you can make at a place like this and in a field that you're in and have dedicated your life to.
And to watch you and Taylor embrace and know your stories. You're not the only one shedding tears over
Oh,
that.
man.
That was just goosebumps down my spine, watching that and be able to celebrate you being here, being to celebrate Taylor, and at the end being able to recognize Taylor's team, the team that he was part of, to save Chris's life, the stagehand, who then in turn kept Taylor.
And you know what? I really saw an impact in the audience when Taylor came out after the video played, and you could feel the impact that situation had on his colleagues, on the people that are in this business with him, that have worked with him and known him for years. To know that it happened to one of their own, it hits different, right? That it made them feel a different way. After my presentation, I was really happy that there were so many people that wanted to say hi and thank you and stuff, but I was really impressed by how many folks commented on the mental health piece of it that I brought into the conversation. That didn't just tell my story of cardiac arrest, but also trauma in general and how it can be fluid and is navigated by different people in different ways. And just like you were saying, like if you shed a tear because Taylor and I were embracing, the fact is everybody has their triggers and their reactions to that. And it's important that we understand our feelings are good, they're right, they're ours, and how to embrace those, identify them, and then constructively react to them with emotion. And, but live our lives and not think that we're feeling wrong, but do it positively so that we're taking care of our own mental health as well.
And we've definitely seen that in our industry in the last 4 or 5 years. There's been a big shift in how we treat ourselves.
Yes.
And, you touched upon that. I think, a shield of honor, and, you're supposed to just go on to the next call. And we know that PTSD builds up over time until something finally triggers it and it explodes. And the goal is to notice that trigger, acknowledge that trigger, and treat it before we get to that explosion point. And from public safety in general, we haven't done a very good job of that in the past. But we've really started to embrace that change and acknowledge it and work with our providers and ourselves.
Right.
And it's not always working with you. I need to make sure that I know what I'm working with myself, and somebody's looking out for myself when I'm looking out for you. And, that's all your great takeaway from this morning. Your points of the PTSD and, taking care of yourself, looking out for yourself, but also celebrating life. And you're definitely celebrating life. You're happy to be here. You're every single day is a blessing. And that's what I think we need to understand, that every single day is a blessing for us, no matter what our situation is.
Yeah.
That we need to celebrate with whatever small sliver of hope that we have that day, or something might be different. We need to celebrate it. And it was great at the end where we're able to celebrate Taylor and Taylor's team. And he didn't know that was going to happen.
No, I could tell.
We kept that a secret because we felt that would just add to the presentation and kind of the emotion. And we know Taylor got a lot out of your presentation, as a lot of the other 300 plus folks that were in the audience this morning.
And I have seen since I've been here that even without the keeping it a secret, the sincerity and the genuine emotion that has been shared between different professionals since I've been here and the folks I've talked to it's palpable. I mean, you can tell everybody here cares.
Yeah.
Really cares about each other and what they're talking about. There's very real active listening happening. It's not just, I'll talk to you about that. They really care. And I'm proud to just be here and be part of it. I know that in PTSD study, they talk about the invisible injury, meaning like you could look at someone and say, oh, you look fine. You look totally fit. You don't have any visible injuries, but inside there's a very real injury happening that maybe we have to process and need to go through. And I've had to do a lot of that work myself, and to find real joy. And what does that mean to you? Now, I've asked people that are presumably totally healthy in that department and say, so what gives you joy?
Yeah. So what gives you joy in life now? And
oh, you're turning back on me?
Yeah, we're thinking back to you. What gives you joy? And where has your life taken you? What do you do now?
So I appreciate that. So the work I do now is I place AEDs and trauma kits in places they need them. So I didn't have a working AED available to me in my first cardiac arrest. I had to wait 7 minutes for EMS to arrive. Got shocked at 8 minutes. So now I try to make sure that that's not the case anywhere I can touch. So I've placed thousands of AEDs, and I'm super proud of that. But then outside of that, so that work is very satisfying, almost cathartic actually, to know that 43 people have been saved by devices that I've placed that I know of.
Yeah.
Is really satisfying to me. I'm waiting for that next call though, right? I'm looking for 44. I never want anybody to go into cardiac arrest, of course, but if it happens, I would hope that it's something I can touch. But what brings me joy outside of the cardiac arrest world, because it can really overwhelm me, being in this industry and in this community, I guess you could say. But so I just got off stage. I just closed the play called "I Love You, You're Perfect, Now Change," and it's a play I've been wanting to do for 20 years, and I got to do it with 3 other actors that are fantastic. And then riding motorcycles. I love riding my motorcycle. I rode Route 66 with the guy, Tom Farley, who did CPR on me. And then we just rode from Canada to Mexico a couple years ago. And we're planning another long distance cross country trip. And so that gives me a real feeling of freedom and accomplishment. And, I just enjoy it.
I have to ask, helmet or no helmet?
Oh, are you kidding me? I wear a helmet.
Okay.
I wear a Kevlar suit. I wear a motorcycle.
That's awesome.
I have life insurance. My wife said, look, if you're going on this trip, I need life insurance that'll cover the house. I'm
Great,
like, all right,
great.
if you got.
Well, Rob, in closing, if people want to find out more about you or get in contact you, how can they do that?
Okay. Well, again, Rob Hoadley. I'm on LinkedIn. I'm on Facebook. I'm on Instagram. And then, or you can email me at robhoadley@live.com. And if you do that, we connect up, then maybe we exchange phone numbers and we can really get some really good conversation going.
Rob, it's a pleasure having you today. Pleasure. And I love that. I would like to say we're live at EMS Update, but we're living at EMS Update today. So
nice.
We're here till 5 o'clock today, back tomorrow, 8 a.m., 5 p.m. Thank you so much.